What do you rank? Yeah, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Soft Sports. If you're not familiar with Soft Sports, the Houston, Texas Homer Network means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. But today, we talking Texas. That might be a thing. Might be like, because I know now we're doing everything back the street. We might make like dedicated pure Texans days. I know a lot of y'all. That's what y'all really come here for. So maybe it'd be Texans Tuesdays or something. We'll figure it out. But we got a gentleman from the round getting down this evening, man. Who we got in the mix tonight?
What's good, Sauce Nation? It's your boy Spitz. What's the deal?
Already. Shout out to Spitz, aka the throw this motherfucking ingredient. And shout out to y'all, Sauce Nation, wherever you may be. Look, I got the splash off. Like that's how y'all know shit was discombobulated. Like I'm moving the whole string. This shit been giving me some flack lately, and it ain't been cooperating the way I wanted to. I was having some issues early with this, so now we got to put the drip in the right place. There we go. All right, let's see what we got joining us this evening, man. Hey, look, and I thought we was live. So yes, definitely late, but I thought it was I forget, sometimes I forget to push the second button on fucking YouTube. But wherever you're at, man, if you're from the greater Houston area, wherever you may be in the country right now, in the world right now, let us know. We're going to send a little bit of digital love in your direction, a little super saucy Sauce Nation roll call. And then, like I said, we're going to get into it, man. A lot of good conversation to be had. And let's get into it. If you are a channel member or a Patreon supporter, the background that I got, the schedule, you can get those there. You should be able to find them in the Patreon, and they should be posted on the I know one of them is posted on the for the YouTube members. If you want to get those, if you are a member, just send me an email and I got you. And then okay. Yeah, and so like I said, it's a lot going on. So we're gonna talk about, like I said, countdown to kickoff. We're gonna start looking more at the Texans and the Chiefs coming up in just a couple of days, less than 2 weeks, 10 days, 9 days, depending on how you want to count it. Right around the corner. So there's that happening, and then like I said, just looking at some things that have been going on with the Texans. Just kind of the feel that we're getting. I know everybody's excited. Like it's a weird time. It's different than any other football season we probably had up until this point because I guess the anticipation feels a little bit later because of everything that's happened, but we're going to get into it. Let's see what we got in the building, and then let's get into it. I see Jabari, what's the motherfucking deal? G-Star, Houston, Texas Talk, what's the motherfucking deal? Juan, let me see. The Twist, Dirty Bay in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? Baytown in the building, I see you. Mike Honcho, what's the motherfucking deal? Shelby, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Purple Drink, what's the motherfucking deal? Kobe. Let me see. Kobe, hey, pull up. What's that? September 26th, we will be at Bonham Park playing tri-ball. If you really feel that way, because you obviously don't watch Sauce, you don't know what you're talking about. Come holler at me. We can talk about it. Let's see. Joseph Lopez, Andrew Alfaro, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Austin Tucker, what's the motherfucking deal? Power, Michael Luna, ADI Music, what's the motherfucking deal? Jason S, what's the motherfucking deal? Clayton, Rookie X4, J-Pop, what's the motherfucking deal? Juan, what's the motherfucking deal? G-Time in the building, already. You must be safe on the way to work. Aaron, let me see. Art, Tommy, what's the motherfucking deal? Hey, Jack, if I missed you, I ain't dish you. A lot to talk about. He say, Texas Talk say Spitz. Texas said, knowing your boy Leonard, man. And DeAndre, what's the motherfucking deal? He say, Robstown, Texas in the house already. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into all that, man. Like I said, it's a whole lot to talk about. And for those of you who, show love and want to support the channel, I have taken the super chats off for a reason. If you want to support the channel, please either use like Streamlabs, like I said, the Cash App's there, or PayPal or whatever, for a particular reason. We ain't going to get into all the details, just the preferred method. So the Texans, man, like I say, it's a lot going on. We're getting close to kickoff. The Texans jumping off the NFL season this year have an opportunity to make a splash. I mean, early on, they have a chance to make a name for themselves. And again, I got the schedule right here beside me. If y'all need to see it. Going into this week and looking at these two teams, If you were just to go off the cuff, I mean, what if you were just to make an off the cuff prediction without thinking too hard about it? What are you feeling? You ain't got to give me a score, but what are you feeling like the outcome of this game is going to be?
I could see if, and even me taking my fandom, because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of a team. I'm a fan of a particular player. So if I take my fandom completely out, just looking outside in, I think the Texans actually have a bigger shot than most people want to give them credit. And I actually believe that the Texans should be, I know this is going to sound crazy, should be the favorite going into the game. And the reason why I say that is because these are two teams that should be heading the same direction, but taking two completely different routes. And if you look at it, they're going in the opposite direction. You have one team that's doing all these extensions. Like the Chiefs just extended their head coach and just extended their general manager. Yeah, the Texans just gave Cunningham a deal, but we still waiting on Deshaun.
Yeah.
I know Bill O'Brien is technically the general manager, but we got this dude Jack Easterby that we don't know what does he do? Like, what does he actually do?
He gets the prayer quotes. He gets the morning prayer quotes for everybody. He passes them out. So if you want to tweet some prayer quotes, if Jack Easterby got you.
And it'd be more so that the Kansas City are now they went from being the hunters to now they being the hunted. They didn't got they chip out the way. So, it's easier. It's always easier coming in when everybody is doubting you. But that's the situation. The Texans go into this situation playing with house money. I know this might be a sore subject, kind of like the Thunder are with the Rockets, when no one's like, oh, yeah, I don't get your asses handed to you. Now you see it's a series. What you going to do?
Yeah, and I agree with you. And that's kind of my thing. Like you said, these are two teams that should be heading in the right direction. When they last met, they were definitely going different directions. But because I think it's going to be a thing as long as both of these guys are playing, you're going to compare Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. I know as long as he's a Texan, we're going to compare. Other people, they may not look at it the same because it's different when you feel like, what's the term, you're punching down or something like that. They got the hardware, he's got the MVPs, he's got the accolades, like all that. So they feel like there's no competition. Shit, Lamar's the guy or whatever. He's the next MVP. What has Watson done? When you're looking at accolades, when you're looking at numbers and things like that, and they have a legitimate argument. But I think the key thing you said is these organizations, and it's really all the things that are around them, because it's not Watson's fault. Other than maybe like a bad decision that Titans game a couple of years back, there's not too many things that I'm going to sit here and say that's on Watson. Like that's all on Watson. Again, didn't really have the protection. Last year, it was kind of the pieces kind of got in late, I think, with Tunsil being here for the full off season and stuff. Even though it was kind of a janky ass off season, everybody got the same janky ass off season. So I don't, it's not like it's unfair in any way. But again, having that cohesiveness and things like that, I think it's going to be a much better season for him overall. I'm actually looking at it. I'm starting to believe that, with what's going on, minus the Hopkins thing, we may see something different from Deshaun this year. And I think it's going to be a step up. But, like you said, it's all the things that are going on around him. Are those things going to be taken care of? And are the Texans going to be able to do that long term? Like you said, Bill, he's already got his extension. We know he's going to be here for a little while. But the biggest piece is Watson. Like, why isn't that done? What is the conflict? Like, at this point, should you be offering him basically whatever he wants? Like, what should be what do you think is the holdup with Watson the Texans, this deal not getting done yet?
I think Watson doesn't want to commit long term because he wants to see. Because I think Watson's not stupid, and it's two things. One, I think Watson wants to always be in a situation where, like Mahomes got bagged for 10 years. Watson wants to be in a situation that he could always put himself in a way that he can always try to re-up, because if he's because Mahomes got this big ass deal, 2 years from now Lamar Jackson is going to exceed that, things like that. So Deshaun, I think, wants a shorter term deal because of that, and also, like I said, he's not stupid. Deshaun feels. I feel that Deshaun feels the exact same way that most of us feel about this organization. That he doesn't really trust this organization, or at the very least, doesn't trust the people who is running the show. And he don't want to be stuck in a situation where like, I got my money, but I'm sitting here in this damn shit show of a damn organization and a team. So I think he wants basically, you know how we tell about a prove it deal for the players. He basically wants a prove it deal for the organization. Prove to me that I'm worth staying in Houston because I can always go back home to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I can always go back. I can always go back home to ATL. Matt Ryan is not that young. I can always go back home to ATL. So
they'll be more than happy. It's gonna be stands full of fans. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be a wrap.
Exactly. So like prove to me that I'm worth staying in the city of Houston. So I think he wants a short term deal, like a 3-year deal, and I think that the Texans, of course, they're not stupid. They want to lock him up for as much as they can. They're probably pushing for a 5 to 6 year deal. I think eventually they end up meeting in the middle with 4, because I think eventually they'll end up meeting with the middle with 4. If it was a basketball situation, it would be like 4 with an opt, but I don't think they do ops in the NFL. I've never heard of a contract. Who knows? Maybe he could be a trendsetter. I don't know, but I think they end up meeting in the middle with probably a 4-year deal, and I think that's the hang up. They haven't gotten there yet, but I think they're gonna meet in the middle. But then I also think that the Cunningham deal was more important to get done because both Cunningham and Fuller both would have been free agents, and you might have to save that franchise tag because you might end up having to tag Fuller at the end of this year, and you wouldn't be able to tag both.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. That definitely does make sense. Because it's going to be real interesting. I think you have to, I think you kind of have to wait on Fuller to see what you're getting out of
right.
him.
That's why I say I think Fuller is actually the perfect person to get franchise tag because even if he has a full healthy season, you'd be like, okay, you finally had a full healthy season the same year your contract is up. Do it again.
Yeah. Do
it again. So franchise tag, now do it again type shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And like I say, and that's the thing. So I know the rumors are out that they're going to try to, get a deal done. But I mean, it's going to be one of these situations where, something's going to have to shake. Probably during the season is what I'm thinking. I'm sure Deshaun ain't worried about. I know he's letting his agent handle business. But it's interesting because Deshaun is kind of a presence that I don't think we've had in this city before in the way that he's kind of going about handling his business on and off the field. Like, again, there's no flaws off the field. There's nothing that you can say negative that he's ever had done. I mean, just completely stand-up guy. And the way he carries himself is almost like unreal. It's almost larger than life. I mean, again, like I'll forever commend the dude. Like, to me, I know I'm not that nice of a person to come off my first NFL check. Like, the second check, I got y'all. I'm going to holler at you. I mean, you come holler at me, baby. I got to frame this one, man. This the one. You feel me? But to come out and break bread, like, that's why I say the dude will always be out there. There's nothing that you could ever say to degrade the guy's character. You know what I'm saying, in my opinion. And then, like I say, regardless of how you may or may not feel about the things that are going on, for a man to stand up for what he believes in, puts himself out there, and, represents his cause. And not putting himself out there in a fool's manner, but just showing, solidarity for what he believes in, which is, again, stand-up characteristics. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't finna go get the book. I fucks with Deshaun. I'm not finna go get the book. You know what I mean? I might get the audio book on Audible or something, listen to that bitch, but I'm not finna go get the book. But, like I said, and so what happens, though, right? What happens if this agreement isn't reached? How do you think the fan base acts? Because we've seen this fan base, especially this Houston fan base, do some crazy things.
I think if a deal is not done by the time I don't even know what timeline I can give it. All I know, if a deal is not done, a lot of Texas fans are going to be antsy, and we're going to be like, we were gonna be waiting on the other shoe to drop, basically. Like, we would be waiting on, okay, Deshaun wants to get out of Houston. Like, that's what you're gonna start hearing. Those are the rumors. Like the whole the odds was that Deshaun Watson supposed to be is the favorite to be not the Texans, but the Patriots quarterback for 2021 type shit. All the you start giving all that stuff legs and credibility, the longer Deshaun goes without getting a contract.
Yeah, yeah, and those rumors do cause issues and problems. But and what happens if it doesn't work out? And again, I look, knock on wood, y'all already know. But I'm just saying, because I never thought that I'd see people respond the way they did with Hop. Do you think people would turn on Deshaun if a deal was not done in Houston and he went elsewhere? Do you think that they would appreciate what he did do here? Or do you think that they would kind of, undermine it?
You always have those type of fans. Like you always have those type of fans. It's just like, I mean, like you always have those type of fans that feel that way. But I think the majority would be more angry at the organization.
I agree. So I think at this point you have to Deshaun has all the leverage in my opinion. And then with Mahomes going ahead and getting that deal, I mean, if Buddy goes and gets a deal before me, then you're gonna really have a problem. Goddamn, I can't think of his name. No, not Lamar. In Dallas.
Dak.
Yeah, I know because they hit him with the tag, didn't they?
Yeah. That cannot get a deal until next. He can't get a deal until March.
Okay. So and again, so if you delay and it's a situation where again you holding off for quite a while and some other people get some things done, I think you're gonna have some questions. It's gonna be real iffy. And that's been my problem with the Texans. Again, and how you say kind of with the prove it deal. I don't feel like the organization is proving themselves to Deshaun. Like I told you, the first couple of seasons, how you went and looked at, I mentioned before, what they did with Baker, Allen, some of these other dudes who the franchises are getting behind and they believe that's going to be their guy. They go get weapons, they go get protection. At what point did they ever really do that for Deshaun Watson in year?
I put it to you like this, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, because I think Cunningham is going to be Cunningham is going to be a Pro Bowl, All Pro type of player this year. Cunningham is going to be one of the top. I mean, he led the AFC in tackles last year. He's very, very deserving of that money.
Yeah.
But if you go back and look at what Miami did this past year, some things that the Texans should have did. Miami drafted Tua with their first pick, and then after that they drafted 4 offensive linemen.
Correct.
They made sure, okay, hey, we're going to get as many offensive linemen as we possibly can. Because even if we draft 4 to 5 offensive linemen, even if 3 of them don't work out, at least 2 of them work out. Somebody's going to work out in this situation, and that's something that the Texans should have did. Cunningham could you still draft Cunningham, but instead maybe drafting I'm about to say Leonard Fournette, but instead of drafting Deontay Foreman, maybe should have took some type of guards. And we knew the offensive lineman was an issue. One, you shouldn't have never traded Dwayne Brown, especially after a whole him raising a fist at the national anthem. But that's another conversation for a different video. But you already at that time you had a left tackle. All he really wanted was a contract extension. If you extended him, then you went out and got your right tackle, got some guards and stuff like that. I think they already drafted Nick Martin at that time, so you already had Nick Martin as quote unquote as your center, who they believed to be the center. You should be able to put together a better offensive line. That way, in the following years, you could have been building more on this offense, getting better running back play, getting more help on the receiving end. And then also, how about this? Don't trade away the best receiver in the NFL. How about that? How about that? If you want to keep somebody happy.
Yeah. And it's really interesting to say that because so what you're saying is that you feel like that poor planning early on has kind of led us to where we are now.
Exactly.
When you think about it, it's almost like you're kind of trying to play catch up and trying to do everything in year 3 and 4, which is
that's the reason why you did. Poor playing early on is the reason why you don't have a first round pick this year and you don't have a first or a second round pick next year. Because instead of Larry Tunsil, and I think Larry Tunsil is a great offensive lineman. I think he's one of the top left tackles in the NFL. But you already had Dwayne Brown on this roster, who still is playing at a high level.
Correct.
Now, yes, Larry Tunsil is younger, and you eventually will have to replace Dwayne Brown. But but if Dwayne Brown's on this team, you still have your draft assets. Correct. You still have your equity. Same thing with Clowney. You still would have equity if you had these players on the team like that. That's the problem. And then if you do deal these players, and again, I'm not up here trying to argue the fact because I know we've talked about the Clowney trade, we've talked about the Hopkins trade 10 times 10. I get that. I understand that. And you can't bring them back. But one thing that we can't continually talk about is the compensation because that's you already in the hole by giving up picks for Tunsil. Yeah, you have assets. You move those assets to acquire more. It's simple. It's completely simple. We should be in the situation because, hey, Jacksonville might be getting rid of everybody on their 2017 team. But at least if you go look at how many picks they got like 5 draft picks in the first 2 rounds for the next 3 years or something like that. Like they draft equity is crazy in the first 2 rounds. Yeah. They have a plethora of multiple of first and second round picks. So they're going to be able to load up with at least young talent for the foreseeable future. Now, will that talent pay off? Because you still got to make the picks. Even though you have picks, you still got to make them. You still got to make the right picks. And Jacksonville's track record really isn't well with making the right picks. And when they do make the right picks, they all leave.
Yeah, they don't stay long.
Yeah, they don't make it to their rookie. They don't even make it through their rookie contract. They all get traded or get cut. Yeah. Name one good player that's made it through his rookie contract.
Shit. I don't know. Boy, ain't even make it through his second contract. So I don't know. I don't know, man. That's been relevant. I can't tell you. I got nothing. Yeah, Jackson's is definitely a place you don't want to go, and that's what I think. Honestly, kind of to deviate for a second, because I do kind of want to talk about the Fournette thing, and I've heard the rumors and people mention that Kamara's being floated about out there. So I want to get to that, but Jacksonville is like, it's unfortunate, man. I think it's that culture, and again, you can't be able to be stringent and being tough and not winning games, and I think because you had so much talent. But I think if you're not winning games, and these are guys who probably through most of their careers have been used to winning, like it's going to sour you, especially if that's where you get drafted. So like even with Fournette, like I'm not a big fan, but I think that given the opportunity, he'll go somewhere else, and if his head's in the right spot, that he could be a serviceable back. I just think that it's a bad situation when you're in Jacksonville again. Like I tweeted the other day, I complained a lot about being a Texan fan, but man, I can only imagine what it feels like to be a Jags fan. Like that's fucking ridiculous. But I want to talk about some things because again, and people are justifying, and we can justify. Hindsight is 20/20. This is all hypotheticals and speculation. But we went out, traded D-Hop for David Johnson, whatever. David Johnson made 11 this year, something like that. I think 11.
No, it's a 12. If I'm not mistaken, it might be 12 and a half. Because he's either the 4th or the 5th highest paid. I know he's top 5. He's either the 4th or the 5th highest paid back this year.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Great. So, well, there's that. So you have that, and then now as the season gets closer, and again, we all talked about, I think the biggest beef with a lot of us was that, whatever, you're going to trade Hopkins, fine, get the value for it. Like, we know you didn't get that with a second round pick in Johnson. But, if that was the play, do you think that he would have, if he'd have held on, maybe waited closer to the season, that he'd have been able to squeeze something more out of it? I mean, at least in the future, get a better deal? Would you have rather try to, entertain Fournette or maybe make that offer to Kemah? Would you have done that if for Hopkins? Would that be a suitable trade in your opinion?
What for? You talking about trading Hopkins for Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, if you'd have made a move for like Kemah and maybe a deal, then would that be a more approved pick or a more approved move than David Johnson in your opinion?
If it's the same trade, just instead of David Johnson as Alvin Kamara, it would be a better trade because I think Alvin Kamara would be a better player than David Johnson. I think Alvin Kamara is a better player than David Johnson. But I will still be. It's a better trade, but I would still be frustrated because when you dealing with somebody of Hop's caliber, a first round pick has to be attached to it. Like you cannot. I could accept if it was a later first round pick. It ain't had to be the first round pick of this year. Cause I know a lot of people say that the Cardinals didn't want to give up the 8th pick. Well, they ain't gotta get Hopkins if they didn't want to give up the 8th pick. But you could at least got next year's first round pick. You know that you were out. You know you're without a first round pick for the next 2 years, and then next year you don't have a second round pick. So actually, the 2021 draft was the draft that you should be trying to get. You should been that's the draft you should have been trying to finesse the picks out of, because that's the one that you're gonna be sitting on your hands until the 3rd round.
Yeah, now I don't even want to think about that. That's a real bad deal. This draft was bad, or you're impatient for this draft. Next year is going to be real bad. But and I would agree with that. Again, like I said, I think you get a better deal. I just still overall you get hosed. But I think he was impatient, and that's the problem as to why he could have sat. I mean, Hop is like a wild card. You know what I'm saying? Especially you get into the season. If that was in your playbook, I'd have kept that quiet. And then, somebody's star receiver goes down, or a situation like that happens early on. And then okay, well, hey, what's up? What y'all really want to do? Now you have the leverage.
I mean, like 2 hours after Hobbs trade, Stephon Diggs goes for a 1 and 2 twos.
Yeah, exactly. But
come on.
But that wasn't out there. But people will sit there and tell you it wasn't out there. Those offers weren't available. Those offers weren't out there. And which is, again, like I say, whatever. I mean, however you feel. But getting back to the Chiefs game, man, because like I said, it's the future. We want to get away from the past. We want to start looking towards the future. Pat Mahomes, Watson, the next Manning and Brady is what people want it to become. But I think Watson has to get there. He has to step it up a notch. I won't say he has to step it up a notch, but I guess the pieces around him have to step it up a notch. Because again, like I said, most of the issues, the things that you look at and say, oh, Watson did this, that. I'm sure those same games you can find a lot of flaws defensively and things that were given up in situations where he probably had to do more than he should. Like, that's my big deal with Watson too, is that people are, oh, well, we got Watson, anything can happen. And I agree. I believe that. But, like, some of y'all are really trying to put everything on this man. Like, there is a limit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much a person should do, but you shouldn't expect, well, this guy will come in and just do everything. Like, that's an unhealthy mentality, because, knock on wood, something happens, well, then everything's out the window. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's something I want to get away from.
I give you this stat line. Quarterback, no turnovers. Over 300 yards passing. Over 300 yards passing. 3 passing touchdowns. 1 rushing touchdown. Had a 24-0 lead, and still lost the game. Yeah. And not only lost the game, lost by 20.
Unforgivable.
That's the first time in the NFL that has happened, and
probably
it wasn't. And you can't blame. I've even heard people try to blame Deshaun. Well, not blame Deshaun, but blame the offense. And you can blame how the offense is constructed, maybe. You can't blame the offense itself. That game falls on the shoulders of 2 people: the defense, and who's running the defense, and also your head coach, because he's the one who's making the play call decisions. The reason why is because, one, the offense has nothing to do with Kansas City scoring 31 straight points. The offense has nothing to do with Kansas City scoring 51 points altogether. That's on the defense. 2, Deshaun Watson the last time Deshaun Watson has the ball in his hand, he's up 24-0 on 3rd down. They don't convert the 3rd down. No, actually, I take that back. They're not up 24-0. They're up 24-7. He has the ball in his hand. They go for it on 3rd down. They don't get it. Then you proceed to go onto I remember he's up 24-7. They go for a fake punt. Don't get it. And Kansas City scores a touchdown. Now it's the Texans up 24-7. to 24-14, only up by 10. DeAndre Carter fumbles on the kickoff. The Chiefs score a touchdown. Now it's a 3-point game. So you went from being up 24-7 to the next time you touch the ball, you only up by 3. Like your lead evaporated without you even stepping back onto the field. So after that point, anything you do, any drive that you have that doesn't end with points, looks like a failure. So I think you got, I think you had a 3 now, whatever the case may be. Kansas City scores a touchdown. Deshaun Watson gets the ball back and drives into field goal range right before the half, and I think Fairbairn missed the field goal going in half. Then who gets the ball back on the second half? The Kansas City Chiefs get the ball back and score another touchdown. So he went from being up 24-7 to being down to being down was it 30 being down 30 to being down 35-28 with only touching the ball twice. Yeah. How was that his fault?
Yeah, you can't blame that man for that. That's what I'm
saying. He was up. He was up by 3 touchdowns. He was up by 17 points and then down by 11 points without even only touching the ball twice. That's not his fault.
That's like that little meme with the dog and the house be on fire and shit. Like that's what he had to be sitting there thinking on the sideline. All this shit burning down. Like this all right. Just give me the ball back. Like, and that's what he has to think. Like, because he's a guy. Just give me the ball back and we gonna make something shake. But it's like, damn, you couldn't even get the man the ball back. Like, there are issues. But again, that's what I'm saying. I'm not complaining. I'm glad because I think that Zach Cunningham will be a piece of this team for a long time. I like Zach. When we drafted him, like, you could just see it. Like, he was one of them dudes that he's all over the place. Now, we'll see what happens with that line as far as keeping guys off of him. But, it is what it is. That's the question, though, right? And this is where I have my biggest concern. We're talking Texans, we're talking Chiefs, and I see Broderick in there. I mean, after the stream, can we finally have the conversation about what happened? Because I've been trying to get these two gentlemen together to have this conversation. Spence been pulling up.
We talked last week about it. He said
I missed it. Okay.
Yeah. He said he says that the reason why he said it was some fuckery going around because he said every Lamar game that's ever been played is on YouTube except that one. That's the one he cannot find.
Man.
So he says that he knows that the referees don't like Lamar. So he feels that it was some fuckery going around.
Not and feelings.
And also that he can't also prove the fuckery because there's no film of the game. I don't know who people. I don't know who you have to talk to the Lamar officials. I don't know who are those guys out there putting the videos on YouTube. I don't know, but talk to them.
Does your old coach still have the video?
My old head coach is no longer the head coach. He's over all of the URL now. Like he went he got a promotion now. He's over all of athletic sports in the city of Houston. Well, in the state of Texas.
Oh, that's what's up.
So
okay.
So yeah.
So he might have some pull though. If he go over all the sports, Broderick might be right. He might have reached out to somebody, had him, digitally erase it, put it next to a magnet or whatever. It was on VHS or it was on DVD. I don't know.
If that's the case, if he has a pool, we would want a state title by now.
Okay. He say I talked to some of my people and Spence is justified that we gave up a late lead. Okay, so he was up by 10 with 5 minutes to go and turned the ball over and lost by 3. Okay, y'all over there sound like you had a Texans Chiefs experience. Last time you touched the ball, you don't know what happened. But looking at this though, talking about the defense of the Texans. I got questions, and I know a lot of people been talking about Jacob Martin, and I like Jacob Martin. I do. I like Jacob Martin, and I know he's put on some weight and some things like that. He started showing, especially later in the year, because he wasn't getting a lot of play. Had he probably gotten some more action earlier on, his stat line probably looks a little bit better. But they looked like they were kind of cautious with him earlier, and then once they got a little bit more comfortable, you start seeing him, getting out there making plays. And I think that he can be one of those guys. Like he's not going to be who you base your defense around, but he's going to be a factor. So I like him. Again, the rookies, I'm not going to lie to you, I still haven't done my due diligence on that. I don't know how much faith I have in him. That could be on me from not doing my due diligence, so that's kind of a gray area for me. JJ getting a little older. We've seen JJ's issues with more mobile quarterbacks. We're going to face a couple of them this year. Some of the better quarterbacks, more mobile guys. JJ says he's in better shape. He said he told y'all he feels like 14, 15. Are we going to see that? And then, like I said, the Murray guy. It's a lot of pieces with the Texans that have changed around, offensively and defensively. But the Chiefs, to me, they're bringing back most of their core, right? And I think with the way the OTAs have been, the way just this whole offseason has been, this fuckery with everything that's going on, I feel like they have a significant advantage with that. Because you're bringing back a lot of guys who already know what it is. They know their roles. They know what it takes to get there. They've done it. They just coming off of it. With the Texans, you're bringing in a lot of pieces kind of from all over the place. Like I say, new coordinators. It's just like I don't think the foundation is fully there. And that's what scares me. But it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. Because it could be that X factor as in, well, you don't know what they're going to do. It's not the same old Texans. It may be something completely new. I'm hearing, in the scrimmage that Weaver was real aggressive, which I like to hear because that's something I'm looking forward to, being able to utilize the talent that we have. But, that's just kind of my thing. There's too many unknowns right now on the Texans for me to feel comfortable. And that's why I say, not having those preseason games was huge to really be able to gauge that shit. So I hear what you're saying where you feel like the Texans are probably going to perform better than most people want the credit that they want to give them. And
part of the reason why, is what you're saying a little bit kind of feeds into what I'm talking about, because we're going to use another basketball analogy. My Orlando Magic game 1 against Milwaukee. Portland game 1 against the Lakers. The difference is they have a series, and the Lakers and Milwaukee were able to get back on track. This is a one-game situation that I think the Texans could jump out early, win a game. I ain't saying they're gonna beat Baltimore week 2.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying they beat Pittsburgh week 3. I'm not saying what's gonna happen the following weeks. I think that they could jump into the season and win. And also, I'm also a person who like to play the odds, and Deshaun Watson has yet to win the season opener.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about that too, because I know a lot of people, New Orleans always loses. Look, when people break records or break curses, or y'all know who it's against. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what the situation is. It's always against the goddamn Texans. Or, when ex-players go off, it's always against the Texans. But, so, again, I could see that, though. Because, again, it is a new season. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of people, getting acclimated, figuring shit out. And it always happens. It's always one team that starts off the year. Team, especially, it's usually one of those worst to first teams. And, Jacksonville was, what was that, 2017? Nobody was expecting that. It's Jacksonville. We're going to go and run the boys over. Savage going to ball. Woo, woo, woo. And they came out and stomped a mud hole in us.
It was some savages out there.
Yeah. Y'all remember this. Jalen was talking that big. But real quick, you know what I find extremely interesting? You know what I mean? Because we've been saying a lot of stuff around here about Jacksonville for a long time and just various things. And almost all of that shit has come true. You know what I'm saying? In one form or fact. The only thing that didn't really come true that we were saying was that we figured Ramsey would somehow make his way to being a Texan. But we knew that he wasn't going to stick around there for a long time. And just the way it all unfolded, it's bad. Where's Clarence? I ain't seen Clarence. Where Clarence at? Y'all see Clarence? Tell Clarence to holler. I need to talk to him and the hot dog man. So I don't know why I get Amber Alerts. I'm never going to look for, especially I ain't nowhere near Atlanta, Texas. What the hell?
What the fuck? Atlanta, Texas.
Yeah, there you go. That's yours.
Yeah. I ain't know Texas had it in Atlanta. We got ATL.
Yeah. It ain't nothing like that Atlanta though. So it's that's just the thing. So like I said, it's such an X factor. It can go either way. But I think that a couple of things are going for the Texans. For those who were here last year, that level of embarrassment has to mean something. Like I know I've seen Jay Reed talk about it. I've seen, a couple other guys kind of, hint at it here and there. But it has to mean something. I know Deshaun, it has to mean something because it was like he was short in that time. So like if that's the mentality and if Deshaun is embracing that, then I think it does favor the Texans because I do think the team, they take on the mentality in which he comes into the game. You know what I mean? If he comes in loose, feeling good, you see him dancing before the game, you see the team looks like they're feeling good. They're flowing a little bit better. Like it seems like they're performing better. So if his mentality is right, like, and again, I know I just said I hate the fact that everything's on him, but if his mentality is right, then absolutely, like, anything is possible. Like, I'm not going to sit there and count him out. And just like say the scenario you presented, what is the likelihood of that happening again? Slim to none. I mean, anything is possible again, but that's not going to happen again. But at the same time, too, let's be realistic. Texans were fortunate to jump out on Kansas City the way they did. But if this game is to be more reasonable, I think you have a situation that maybe looks closer to the regular season last year. You know what I mean? Is there a Super Bowl hangover for Kansas City? Is this game more important to the Texans than it is to the Chiefs? Maybe are they overlooked? Oh, we embarrassed them motherfuckers last time we seen them. We ain't even tripping on them. Like that's
exactly. Take them lightly.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so many things that could happen. You have to leave everything on the table. So I'm just like, such the nonsense, Heidi. That man played with a broken rib and still was solid. So, but my thing is like, I want the Texans to get the win. I need the Texans to get the win. Because I don't know if I can take another year of the slander and again, I don't think it's disrespect for Deshaun. I think people recognize it's his situation. But I think like it's time. This is year 4. Like, come on, it's time for the man to get the recognition and appreciation he truly deserves. And the only way he's going to get that is if the organization, like you said, is fully behind him.
Right.
There's no way Baker Mayfield should be, like more recognizable on the screen than fucking Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, all them damn commercials. He out here vacuuming the stadium and shit.
Yeah, that's what his job gonna be real soon. Shit, keep on fucking around. You know what I mean? Like, here's the deal. Let's see. So yeah, I agree, Monson. That was when and again, but people call me an O'Brien hater. That's when I got off the ship. That's when I was done with O'Brien after the Colts game. But for some reason, we just hate O'Brien. That's all it is. You just want to shit on O'Brien. Like
which Colts game? I mean, there's plenty of Colts games.
The playoff game. I gave him the full season. That's the least I could do. And that shit there was an embarrassment. And again, we talk about hype and all that stuff. I know it is what it is at this point. But it's funny. People say, "Oh, he got shut down. And he did this, that in the playoffs." He was the only receiver you had in the playoffs. Why? Why is he constantly the only guy that's available all season long? But yet, everybody else falling off, missing games, can't get through whole games. But when the guy has a less than stellar, but still a great performance, but less than stellar, maybe not Hopkins-esque, maybe doesn't give you one of those spectacular catches that you want. For some reason, we started shit on him. And that's why I say, like, the Texans fan base, I got questions, man. Like, do we deserve greatness? Because we're really flippy floppy in this city. Like, fan bases as a whole, and it's bothersome. Like, we can talk about the Texans. I don't even want to talk about the Rockets right now. Like, we're not having no Rockets. We'll talk about the Rockets tomorrow. We may have a pregame show for. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like anything less than a blowout is a loss to me. Like, if they don't go out there, they don't blow OKC out. It's a loss. Like, if you don't drop at least. I'm
gonna hit the Marlin ball like Chris Paul. I'm gonna hit the Marlin ball like Chris Paul.
This nigga Chris Paul wanna have a research. He went over to Germany. He must have got the HGH injection, the shit, the GMO, whatever the fuck, in the fucking hand thing.
The deer antler spray.
Yeah. He went and got the shit. This motherfucker want to be healthy and hooping and doing moves and shit. This bitch. And him,
they get back-to-back threes and shit.
Yeah, like, where was this when we needed this shit? Nigga? Like, where were you over the fucking ice in your fucking little raggedy leg? Nah, but yeah, this guy here, like, and I was cool. Like, I wasn't tripping. I'm like, yeah, either way this series goes, I ain't gonna hate on Chris Paul. It is what it is. But once this motherfucker start hitting motherfuckers in the nuts, then you got Schroeder hitting motherfuckers, and I'm like, nah, it's like fuck that. So that's lame and sexually questionable. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, dog, you get no love for that. Like, and again, I told you, I was saying I'm a dirty player, but I'm dog going for the testicles. That's off limits, dog. Like, you gotta have some kind of standard. You gotta have some kind of moral. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If 14, you know what I'm saying? That's about that. But he over there fucking dropping 20. And I'm not gonna lie, dog. I didn't get a chance to see all yesterday. I'm not gonna say yesterday it was. But I wanna say 3 and 4. 4 was a reffy game. It was some questionable shit going on. They had some real shitty calls that game. But either way, even with that, there's no excuse for the fucking Rockets to have lost a game this series, like without Russell, any of that shit. So, you know, it is what it is. Couple of things. Let me see. We got about another 5. We're gonna go. So looking at the young quarterbacks right now, you know, we it's a young crowd. You know, it's the Mahomes. There was a list they put out of the top 10. Let me get it real quick, and then because I got a question. Oh, that's completely inappropriate. That is not the time and or place for that. Shame on you. Y'all don't mind me. Where is this thing at? Oh, that's what y'all are talking about. The fucking Rockets. The Astros. Stop the nonsense. The list.
Okay.
Let me make sure it's reconnecting. Right, I don't know it dropped out. Okay, Sawbone. Appreciate the love. I saw that it had dropped out there. Sawbone Sanchez, appreciate the love. You know, thank you for becoming a member. And yes, even though Super Chat's off, if you still want to be a channel member, get the special emojis and the badge next to your name. You know, that is still available. And again, I don't know, like I said, I know Trill said the Streamlabs was tripping. I'll look into that and see what's going on with that. But the list was Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Drew Brees, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, and then Carson Wentz.
Okay. Why is Dak Prescott above both Carson Wentz and, most importantly, why is he above Aaron Rodgers?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's a questionable thing. What has Dak done to even be in that position?
Yeah, and I know Lamar Jackson it was the MVP. Lamar Jackson's not better than Aaron Rodgers.
No.
I'm sorry. like, stop it. Do y'all not watch Aaron Rodgers throw the football? Do people not watch the ball leave Aaron Rodgers' hand?
It's a thing of beauty. But you know, and that's what kind of the Lamar Jackson kind of, I don't want to say conundrum, but situation. It's kind of weird because yeah, he's an MVP, but he's not getting MVP recognition for quarterbacking. Let's be real about it. Like it's not, when you see Lamar Jackson highlights, it's not the throws that you're excited by. It's not the throws that get you intrigued. It's the fucking runs. It's the shakes. It's the fucking embarrassing people. It's the fucking video game shit that impresses you. You know what I mean?
It's the hezzy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And again, being a part of the game, you got a guy with an X factor skill set, whatever you want to call it. Let him do his thing. You know, shout out to Harbaugh for capitalizing on that, maximizing it, and ride that train as long as it works. But to sit here and say a better quarterback, I think you got to drop Lamar down that list. Dak is very interesting. Dak
has improved. Mm-hmm. Dak has improved from year 1 to year 4. Dak has definitely improved. Mm-hmm. Dak is not a better quarterback than Carson. He's not a better quarterback than Carson Wentz and Aaron Rodgers. So I'm sorry, he's just not. The highs I give Dak is 6. What was he? What was that? Was Dak 5th or 6th on that list?
Dak was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was 6th.
He
Rodgers
was
was
6.
seventh.
Okay. Uh, and Aaron Rodgers was 7th. Like, well, because with Drew Brees was 5.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Drew Brees is not just like Tom Brady. Drew Brees is not Drew Brees anymore. He's not. He is not the same Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. Like if you watch Drew Brees down the stretch for the last 2 seasons, not just last year, the last 2 seasons, as the season gets like as we get into colder weather, and as the season progresses, he is not the same quarterback it is in September and October. Go look at November and December. He's not the same quarterback he is in September and October.
I heard that. What's up, Cooler Man? What's the motherfucking deal? Man, like, and that's my thing. And I think a lot of this, and even with the JJ things, they had a thing top 10 defensive players too, but JJ wasn't on that list. So, but I think a lot of this shit goes off legacy. A lot of this shit goes off, history. I mean, we know Breeze is gonna go down. Breeze got fucked up. Breeze ain't never had an MVP. That's crazy. I mean, I could have swore he had one, but the fact that he's never had an MVP that blows my mind. But he'll go down in the history books. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, they'll all go down in the history books. But I don't again, and Aaron, I think he's still in that conversation. But Tom, and like I said, Drew, I agree. They're older. They don't have it. They don't have it for the whole season. They start off on fire. Maybe people catch that, or they're looking at the records or whatever. But if you're really paying attention, like I thought Tom lost a lot of juice to me last year, and then
Right.
like I say, Drew is yeah. As the stretch goes on, he loses a little zip on it. So. Like I say, I got questions. Again, a lot of this is name value. What have you done for me lately? Type shit.
Right.
And,
Right.
Breeze. As long as Brady's there, he's going to be the company. Like, it's not honestly, I'm not sold on Tampa Bay. Like, people automatically because Brady went there and they're going to be Super Bowl contenders.
I'm gonna say Tampa Bay going to the Super Bowl. I've heard it so many times that it's gonna be Tampa Bay and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I'm like, I don't know if Tampa Bay's coming out of that division.
Exactly.
I don't.
Like, and what I think is gonna happen, and I guess it's almost too late to really find out, but we're gonna find out. It's gonna be, was it more Belichick? Was it more Brady? And I think you're going to be watching these two teams, even though they have no real relation with each other other than that. You're going to be watching to see what's Cam doing. You're going to be watching to see what Brady's doing in Tampa. And if Tampa has a lackluster season and Cam succeeds, then you already know what the conversation is going to be, right? It's going to be, it was all Belichick and, Brady was just a product of the system, et cetera, et cetera. But what do you think it is?
That is kind of unfair to Brady because you are talking about a guy with 44, 43, something like that.
Exactly. And that's why I say I feel like it was too late to really find out. Like I always said, at some point in time in their careers, they would have to split apart from each other to really find out. But it may be as when you're a coach, it don't matter fucking how old you are. If you're not out there performing. You're talking and instructing. But when you're actually on the field executing, hey, everybody can't do some of the same things it could do. And nobody was going to sit here and say Tom Brady was known for his tremendous athleticism. But, I mean, there's still, he works hard at what he does, but there's still, he's still out there on the field. So, I mean, it's like I say, people are going to judge you. But I do think it may be unfair either way. But, again, like a lot of it is name value, Gronk, Tom, people going to get excited. Oh, they brought the Patriots back. I just don't see it. Like, to me, that blows my mind, like that people were just so quick to automatically assume that because he went to Tampa Bay that they were automatic Super Bowl contenders.
And then also this, check this out. It's something that people don't talk about. He's playing the whole different type of climate that he's ever played in. Mm-hmm. Even though he's from California with the nice weather in California, he went to college in Michigan, cold weather. Got drafted by the Patriots, New England, Boston, cold there. Played 20 years in the NFL, cold city. So now he's going into the heat of Florida. That's going to be that's right there is an adjustment to itself. Normally, you were like playing in warm weather, but you've been playing in cold weather for 24 years? Yeah. 24 straight years he's been playing in cold weather. Not to mention, go look at his bad games. They be against who? The Dolphins in Miami. Yeah. There's a reason for that.
Well, that's a very, very valid point. I did not think about that. Because you all one of them fucking flubs that he has. Like, how the fuck you out there losing the mind? Come on, Tom. You losing to Miami of all people. Yeah, man, that's a very good point. And that Florida Heat, shit, just as bad as that Texas Heat. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and so shit, that's gonna be real interesting. Yeah, your body has to acclimate to that. But but by the end of the season, Tom gonna have some wicks. He gonna have a grill. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be riding in a dog. He gonna pull up into practice on some 26s. He gonna have his shit painted with the Skittles on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And he'll be rocking box Chevy. You know, it is what it is. But it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, with everything that's happened this off season, it's gonna be extremely interesting. I'm just hoping that the Texans make that next step. Like,
Right.
and again, I'm kind of like you were last year, like you said all last year, because I expect the Texans to make the playoffs. Like, but I'm not excited about that in any form or fashion at this point. Like,
Right.
I expect that. Like, that should be the standard. If anything, that should be the standard. Like, if you don't make the playoffs, fire Bill O'Brien. That should be the standard. But I'm expecting Super Bowl now because last year it was AFC conference game. You didn't make it. My standards have risen. You know what I'm saying? You got
Right.
another year under your belt. You still getting paid. You still got more experience and all this. Like, so you done made all these moves. I expect that fucking next step to happen. And again, if you another first round, second round exit, you got to get Bill out of it. Like, I don't care about the extension. I don't care about everything else. Like, and again, like people say, I don't hate Bill O'Brien. People swear up and down that that's the thing. I don't hate Bill O'Brien. I just don't think Bill O'Brien has the capacity to lead this team to the next level.
Right.
What has Bill O'Brien done on this team that has not been done before?
And the thing is, Bill O'Brien, it strikes me as the type of guy who would get fired from the Texans and then go off to the next team and compete and potentially either if not win, but at least be in the conversation for a Super Bowl because I can see him failing here and succeeding somewhere else.
I believe that's what I think needs to happen. Like, I think it needs to kind of have like a Kubiak kind of journey where you bump your head, you maybe go kind of take your trial under somebody else, maybe go OC somewhere, go whatever, and then get another shot at head coach. Maybe kind of look and see what somebody else is doing. Maybe they're strong in the places you're weak. Study somebody who has excellent clock management. That's part of it. But like, go learn this. You're never too old to learn. Motherfuckers swear he read all kind of books all fucking summer and all these fucking civil rights.
I just think down here he just got too much power, and I think once the power is stripped away from him, and all he has to do is coach. When he's not coaching and calling plays, he's not coaching and contracts. He's all about strictly being the head football coach. He has a legitimate offensive coordinator, a legitimate defense coordinator. He don't have no other general manager responsibilities. He's just being the head coach. He would be way more successful than he has been.
Well, and that's on Marvin. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing with Marvin ain't ever get out the first though, did he? Like, I don't think Marvin.
Marvin, he's never won a playoff game.
So that's the thing. Like, that you can give Bill that like as a stepping stone. They're the wins he did get, they're not good, and the losses are very embarrassing. But he got a couple of those. That's the only separation
Come
from
on.
Marvin Lewis.
Y'all know why Marvin ain't gonna get no head coaching job. We know why Marvin not getting no head coaching opportunity. Come on, man.
Hey, man. Marv. I ain't got nothing for you. I can't say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? You say 7 straight, but that's the thing too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thank Marvin Lewis, right? Because where would we be talking about playoffs if it wasn't for the Bengals, right? Like, what conversation would we be having right now about the Texans and their playoff history if it wasn't for the Bengals and the Raiders? Honestly, like, think about our first round wins. What is it? The Bengals, the Raiders, and the Bills. Like. And I mean,
the very first one is a legitimate win because you both had two rookie quarterbacks playing football, and actually they had a more experience because Andy Dalton played the whole season and T.J. Yates was just thrown into the fire.
Correct.
So
yeah, I'll definitely give you the first one, and then like I said, the Raiders. Come on, that shit. That shit don't count, though. That was a fucking
it really
scrimmage.
don't.
That shit
Yeah,
does
that
not count. And then, like I said, the Bills game was tougher than it should have been. Honestly, like
right.
it was like that was nothing on O'Brien to give him credit. That was pure Deshaun Watson being who he was. Anybody else in that situation, it's game over. Like period. Nobody's breaking out of 2 sacks like that. Nobody's spinning out of no shit like that play does not happen. It's over. You know what I'm saying? So, and here's something I wanted to mention real quick, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap it up because somebody said something. I was watching the video the other day. It had nothing to do with necessarily the Texans or specific sports, but it was a guy, and he was saying that athletes are geniuses, and I want to know your thoughts in the chat too. You know what I mean? And again, because this is small sports, your opinion matters. Y'all guys are the fresh ingredients. Takes fresh ingredients to make good sauce. You were saying that athletes are geniuses because you have to, especially the top-notch playmakers, the top-notch athletes in any league, make lightning quick decisions that have an impact on the outcome, like that most people can't do. Your average person would not be able to make those decisions, make the right decision, and then execute it. Also, and you're talking about in hundredths of a second. You know what I'm saying? It's like that you'd be trained to have that skill, but that's what he was talking about. He's like that athleticism is a level of genius. What do you think about that?
Can't. Man, I guess you could on the level by saying everybody has a lane and everybody's good at something that somebody else is not. Everybody has their own lane. You really just gotta find your specific lane. Everybody is, I guess, quote unquote smart in their own right. We just smart about different things. Because I know some people who are cold in sports. As dumb as a box for
Yeah,
I can't call them no genius.
But think about it though. But people too who are book smart. I mean, just know everything. But then you put them in a social environment, they lock up. They can't operate. They don't have common sense. You know what I mean? So
right.
Where they may be strong in an area, but they lack in other departments.
Yeah, like I've always said, you rather have common sense and street smarts than book sense, and the reason why, because a person with book sense can get finessed easily. A person with book sense with no common sense or street smarts can get finessed easy because they think of things on a logical term and how especially when someone's like being sarcastic, they take them literal. Like they see it from a literal standpoint. Where if you a person who's street savvy, who have common sense, you can see around the bullshit. You can you trying to fuck over me. Now, true enough, everybody's vulnerable. Everybody has their weak points. Everybody can get fucked over at any given time. But a person who's street savvy and has a lot of common sense, you're not gonna fuck them over too well. But a person who is naive but extremely book smart, you can fuck over them easy. I think those are two different things because especially when it comes to athleticism, a lot of lightning decisions that people are making. People are not really making their body. I know technically, like anything your body does is a message coming from your brain. If you want to get all technical in the science, it's a message coming from your brain to send it to your nerves and send it to your body to make those decisions. But a lot of times, your body is reacting more so than you're thinking. If that makes sense.
No, I got you.
Because a lot of times stuff is very you're doing stuff very reactionary. Like you're not thinking like if somebody's trying to punch you, just you do this or whatever. You don't think, you just lightning real quick. Or if you're driving and you get in a car accident, you fold up real quick. Nothing's telling you to let me fold up so I won't get cut up by this glass. It's just a reaction that your body does. And when you've been playing sports since the age of 5 or the age of 10 or whatever the case may be, yes, when you 25 years old, you've been playing sports for 15, 20 years. Now your body's just reacting to stuff that you've been doing for the past 20, 25 years.
No, definitely, I can definitely see that. I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, I thought it was a very interesting concept.
I get the concept and I get the point. It's because I know a lot of people.
Yeah,
I
I agree with you 100%. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't call them no genius.
Yeah. Well, what I'm doing in this situation is skewing the definition of genius, definitely, because trust me, we all know. Come on, I mean, you can take it's a couple of NBA stars or NFL stars, any of them that you can tell. You let them do an interview, and you're like, "What, my nigga? What you say, huh?" What? I know Professor Trill's favorite interview, no longer with the team, but again, so some guys that they're very talented, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, though. You know what I'm saying? But like you said,
Right.
yeah, all that repetition and experience, they definitely know it happens. Man, look, Jack, he gonna be better than the die. Yeah, I mean, what did the die do really last year? I mean, he was them.
He had to pick against Tampa, but that's really all he did.
But everybody had to pick like shit. And then Tampa, they was giving them hoes out. You want? I got you, my nigga. Hold on. You know what I'm saying?
I think I had a pick in that game too,
Yeah,
huh?
I might have. I think so. I saw you on the stat line.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the deal, man. It's about that time. And it'll probably be in the Discord for a little bit after this. If y'all want to chop it up, if you in there, if you want to become a part of the Discord, patreon.com/saucesports. Sign up at the $5 tier or higher, or if you join, I think the super saucy tier on YouTube. And if you do, let me know if you need the link to that if you are on the membership, because YouTube's a little bit weirder. If y'all want to be a part of that conversation, man, it's going to be started September 10th. Trust me, the Discord is going to be jumping. It's going to be going down like it was last year. Towards, we'd have the games, we'd watch the games live, and everything. It's going to be live. I can't wait. It's bad. It was just the energy in them and the watching them games with the Roundtable last night. I'm telling y'all, and with South Station, with those of you who were there, that was some of the funniest shit. Just the conversation period. So man, if you want to be a part of patreon.com/saucesports, Spitz has dropped a couple of videos. If y'all have not went and checked them out, you bullshitting. He dropped a Leonard Fournette video and also his thoughts on the DBs this season compared to last year. If you ain't went and check those out, make sure you go do that immediately after the game. But I got to do something real important, and I meant to do it early. But this artwork in the back of me, I want to shout out to Aether Art, because he did this for me, and I want y'all. There's a link in the description. His channel's there. He draws various sports artwork. You know what I'm saying? And he came across the sauce and he showed some love, man. So I thought this was real dope. What we're going to be doing with this is I'm probably set up a link sometime later this week. There's a red one and a blue one. So if y'all want to use that like as your like a Texans schedule or desktop background or something, like I did on my desktop background. You set it up, and then I'll tighten it up to where if you want to use it as a phone background or something like that, I'll clean it up. So it'll be multiple ways you can use that. Again, if you are a Patreon or a member, then you should probably already have access to it. But like I say, everybody will have access to it by the end of the week. Get everything together. Anything on your mind, Space? Anything you want to say before we start out of here, man?
No, like you said, I had two videos drop. One I dropped today, the other one I dropped yesterday about the secondary, and also about the like you said, about the Leonard Fournette. Also got my thoughts. If you want to know why I talked about Leonard Fournette, I also have another video that I dropped last week about the other running backs in the situation on the Texas roster as well. So y'all go check those videos out. Got some more coming this week. I'm gonna break down a little bit more of the Cunningham contract probably later on this week, and also get some previews going about the game against Kansas City.
Okay, I'm definitely looking forward to those. And let me see here, Mr. Purple Drink. I got you. Send me email me at saucesports at gmail, Purple Drink, and I got you. And I'll shoot that straight to you if you whenever you get a chance, and I got you on that. But with that being said, man, like I say, again, definitely appreciate the art for that, and like I say, that will definitely be the background for a while. Definitely fucking with it. And if y'all don't peep it, that's from the game. When he got hit in the eye, and as you can see him winking up in the photo. So definitely shout out, take the art for that. Man, definitely very talented dude. Y'all go check him out. And again, if you like different stuff, NFL artwork like that, go subscribe. The gentleman is very talented. But with that being said, we're gonna chuck up a deuce, man. It's about that time. We're gonna be in the den at 9 or 9:30 maybe tonight. We'll see what happens. I'll see y'all there. I don't know exactly what we're talking about, but y'all know what it is. It's going to go down to. I'm trying to produce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. But most of all, y'all stay saucy. Shout out to Spit. Shout out to the Roundtable, man, holding it down. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. We out.
Perfect. 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 Perfect.